want to like throw nobody under the bus, but who was like one of the most difficult artists for you that you had to work with?
The most difficult artist? Whoa.
You know, were you ever around Jay, or did you ever work with Jay or Dame at any point?
Let me tell you, so let me give you a little hit.
This is what pissed us off this week.
What pissed you off this week?
Featuring Duane
DaRock. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, wherever you may be. Welcome to Dangerous Minds Podcast.
Dangerous Minds.
A.K.A. Malik and Jay Reed. Jay Reed and A.K.A. Malik.
Hell yeah. What's up with you, Brody?
Yo. It's another episode. Like, share, and subscribe. We appreciate all of y'all. We got some comments last time on the MLK. Today's a special day, though. We got Duane DaRock in the building. Super producer Duane DaRock.
Add them applause later.
Yeah. Monty's in the building with us.
What's happening?
What up, baby?
We got Alfredo behind the engineering today.
Shout out to Danny.
Yeah, Danny's out doing his thing.
Yeah,
Rock,
man.
say what's up. Let me hear your voice.
What up, people?
What up, Monty? Yup.
What's happening?
We're going to get into our regular get down. We got, far out news. What pissed you off today? I got something I wanted to introduce today. We'll start off with. Reed, I didn't tell him about it, so this is, it's called Real Reactions. Well, I'm going to play a reel, and then I want a real reaction. R-E-E-L, real reaction.
Okay.
So, and this is a follow-up.
You in your bag. You in your bag today, huh?
Yeah,
all right.
yeah. So I'm going to play a reel, and I want to get a reaction for it. It'll be on the screen right here. DaRock, you probably want to put headphones on so you can hear what the reel is talking about. Monty, same thing.
Well, we going to start it off with that?
What you want to kick it off with?
Start off with DaRock.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's start off with DaRock.
First, we talked about like what pissed you off this week?
Yeah. Because he,
you ready?
He coming in hot
shit.
then. Like,
All right, let's go then. Shit, let's go with it
yeah.
then. Well, let people know who you are though. Duane DaRock. What do you do? What are you known for?
Well, my name is Duane DaRock. I'm a music producer, also celebrity life coach. So, executive producer, music supervisor. Been in the music industry 41 years. Been a life coach for 22 years. So at the end of the day, I'm here to support.
That's
And be
what's
a
up.
part of the vibration.
I appreciate that. Now,
That's what's
music producer to life coach. Now that's an interesting transition. How did that happen? Like, how did that take place?
Well, when I started working with artists and putting them in the game, I realized, hey, you know what? Like I can coach somebody that ain't in the music game, put them on a track of just using the fundamentals, using the elements, using the meditation, using just law of attraction, just putting that into the equation. And when I took a homeless person off the street, they're a millionaire now. So,
Damn.
yeah.
Well, shit. I ain't never heard that before. That's
life coach. That's more than life coach. That's it.
So those are like the methods and like mentalities that you used for your own success.
Principles.
Yeah.
So basically, conceive, believe, and achieve. Those are the principles I follow by. So when I took artists and put them, introduce them, put them with bigger artists, put them with on songs, placements, TV shows, movies, like actors, actresses. I just said, hey, you know what? I created a company called Make the Plug. So when I was making the plug, I realized like I'm actually coaching somebody's life right now.
Right.
By putting them in the game. So I was walking down the street and I was looking for a gas station. And it dawned on me, I said, oh shit, the gas station is far away. So I was on E. So I was like, shit, I wanted to go get a can and then come back and put the gas. I didn't want to drive and run out of gas. When I realized how far the gas station was, I was like, it's going to be too bad. So I get in my car, drive, and I'm getting ready to pump gas, and this homeless dude is banging on my car and shit. So I was like, yo, what you doing? I'm a martial artist, so, you know what I'm saying? So
Had a flashback.
I told him straight up, say, yo, I'm going to whip your ass. If you don't get away from my car, I'm going to whip your ass. He turned around and was like, I'm malnourished. I ain't eaten 3 weeks. So I felt bad. So I turned around and said, yo, you hungry? And he was like, yeah. So we walked across the street, and the pizza spot's across the street. So we up in there. I noticed he had a fanny pack. He had a cell phone. on there. I'm like, yo, you got a cell phone? He was like, yeah, there's no minutes. I said, so why you have a cell phone? He said, because I just keep in my mind envision this phone being turned on one day. So I was like, I said, well, guess what? It's going to be turned on. It's going to be turned on today. And he said, how? I said, I'm going to turn it on. He said, really? He said, so I guess you're going to be the only one calling because, you know, I don't know anybody else to give my number to. And he said, so I would love to hear from you. So I was like, okay, this guy is cool. So we're sitting down. I go to some food for him, and he goes to the vending, to the like refrigerator would have the sodas and stuff in there. And he said, what's your name? I said, Duane. He says, I have an idea. What would you do if your name was on a Coke can?
This is what the homeless guy said to you?
He said, what would you do if your name was on a Coke can? I said, buy it. He said, exactly. He said, if your name is on a Coke can, just think, Lisa, Mary, Bobby, David, all your friends. Just think of all your friends. If you decide to hang out with your friends and y'all just go into a pizza spot like this, and you go in there and you see your name on a Coke can, what are y'all gonna do? Every single one of y'all gonna go buy it. So I was like, man, you are. I said, okay. So then I'm over here like listening to him how he's talking. And I'm like, this dude sound like he's in the marketing. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yo, tell me a little history of you. He said, yo, I travel across the world. I've been homeless since I was 6 years old, travel across the world on freight trains. Originally from Louisiana. I've been going all around and I'm here in LA and so what is your goal? He says, if I get on my feet, I'll put all the goals in place. So I was like, well, do you have any ID? Do you have an ID? I said, do you have an ID? He was like, I got that. I said, do you have a bank account? I said, I don't have that. I was like, okay. So, what type of work would you be interested in doing? He's like, I'm really good at advertisement, marketing, promotion. I've sat in people's offices and I just absorbed how to do it. I've never done it, but I'm sure I'd be great at it. So, not to throw somebody under the bus, but I hit up somebody. I'm gonna say the name. So I hit up somebody who
say the name.
I hit up a lady named Cynthia. She's tied into somebody. She worked for a company. I asked her to give me a fictitious resume.
Create something that's going to
something.
Put them in the door
on this resume that's just going to just make him look boom. I says the crazy thing about it is whatever I put on his resume, he's determined to back it up. So I banked on that, trusted the process, prayed on it, trusted the process. She got him the resume. She called me up. She said, hey, there's an opening at Bud. I was like, Budweiser? She said, yeah, there's an opening at Budweiser. I'll submit it. So I was like, you know what? Go ahead. 48 hours later, gets the interview. So, mind you, I took him to Best Buy, got him a whole new phone, put minutes on it, boom, 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 got him all situated, and called him up. The phone's ringing. And he said, hey, my only caller. I said, what's up, man? I said, I got some good news. I said, we got to get you a suit. We got to get you got an interview. He said, Duane, no way. I said, yes, you got an interview. He said, with who? I said, with Budweiser. He was like, what? How? How are you going to take me? I says, I'm going to make sure you get there. So make sure you get there. You're going to be good. But I need you to go in there and fucking run it like you've been doing this shit for 30 years. He was like, so, am I lying? Am I going to go in there and lie? He said, I'd rather not lie. I'd rather just tell them the truth so they can trust me. I said, man, you got to get in the door.
Right.
I said, this is by all means necessary for you right now.
He got that resume. Did you show him that resume yet?
So I didn't have, but see, for me at that time, I had some credits and stuff, but he wasn't concerned about my music stuff because it was more about
No, his resume, the one that got him the interview.
So when when she sent over, we went to Kinko's and she faxed over the resume. He's looking at the resume and he's like, he said, I'm pretty good. He said, wow. He said, I'm really talented. I can do all this. I said, man. He said, you're a visionary. He said, you see me doing all this? And then I said, yes. Took the meeting, got the job. Spent there 15 years.
Wow.
All from a chance encounter.
He's been there 15 years. The dude travels all over the country. Set up.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? And
That's
call me up on the same cell phone that I bought him.
Oh, wow.
And was like, yo, I'm taking you to lunch. Where you want to go eat at? So I'm over here like, I said, I'm treating you. He said, nah, I'm treating you. I was like, no, because you need all the money that you can get to hold on to. Like I'm going to treat. He said, no, Mr. Ramos, I'm treating. Took me to crustaceans.
Oh,
wow.
So when he took me to crustaceans, I called up Cynthia right from there. I said, what kind of job did this dude get? Cause we're at crustaceans right now.
yeah.
$170 a plate, $200 a plate.
Mm-hmm.
I was scared to order a big napkin and a straw. Because I didn't know, you know what I'm saying?
Hurt his pocket.
I didn't want to hurt his pockets, right? She said, oh no, he's good. So I didn't want to get into his personal business because I was like, that's not my business,
Yeah.
So he turns around and was like, just do me a favor. He said, what? He says, I'm treating you. You go treat somebody this week. And I'm like, I said, why are you talking my language, bro? Like, why is your whole get down like my get down? Like, I said, when's your birthday? He said, January 6th. I said, you're a Capricorn? I said, I'm a Capricorn too. And then we vibed. So then he got himself together. And he's been there 15 years. And the dude checks in with me every now and then, just reaches out like, yo, man, boom, boom, boom. And all I keep thinking about was when I was homeless.
Wow.
And how if I had a Duane in my life when I was down, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I had a Duane throw me a bone like that. And it was just like, and then I realized, like, once I did that, it became, now the challenge is, can I do it again? Once you save somebody and put them in position, the main thing that you want to make sure is that you can rinse and repeat. Wash, rinse, and repeat. Like, if you could duplicate that whole thing.
That's residual.
And I was just like, yo. So then, from there, I was just like, when somebody's down, it's up. It's up from there.
Right. You can only go up from there.
You can only go up.
Yeah.
And I think the best peace of mind, honestly, is being down to go up. That's the best peace of mind. The reason why is because you're building off of your own vibration.
Nothing left. Just you.
You started from the mud and going up. There are people who just get a spoon handed to them, and then when they slide down, they don't know how to respond.
Right.
It's different from coming from there up than being up and then going down and then looking to get up again. It becomes challenging.
Yeah.
So I knew God had favor with him because if you think about it, he's been homeless since he was 6 years old.
It's crazy.
Wow.
Traveling across the world on freight trains.
Been around the world.
You know what I mean? So I'm over here like, yo, And the crazy thing about it, if you really think about homeless people, they are connected to God way more than we are.
Well, he wasn't
know
on.
why?
That's
You
right.
want to know why?
I know where you're going with it, but go spit.
The reason why I feel that homeless people are connected to God more than because they're constantly, as much as they don't want to be, because they're forced to be, they're in a fasting state. They're not eating. They're not eating.
Is that what you're thinking, Reed?
No.
They're not eating the bull crap that we eat because we got money to go buy it.
Right.
They're not eating. So the time that they go with starving is in a fast. The time that they go starving is in a fasting state.
Yeah.
In the Bible, it says fast,
Yep.
right?
Closer
Fast,
to God.
Closer to God. So when you deal with somebody who understands how God works through us when we want something, you know, it's really about not asking. It's really about saying thank you. You don't ask God for anything.
Killing us.
Yeah, sorry about that.
You don't ask God for anything. You just say thank you because it's already within you and you already have it.
Yeah.
Yes.
This guy, Malik's over here, his phone blowing up and shit but
That's why you got the shades on.
for me, I just feel like it's so important that, and a homeless person can be an angel, and
Absolutely.
and a test to see how you gonna respond to that. I was on the highway, drove by. This homeless person was like, yo, I just need some money, yo. I had $5 in my pocket. On God, I gave him the $5. Before I got to the next exit, this guy says, "Yo, Rock, where you been? I got the $5,000 for you right now." I drove around the corner to go find a homeless person. I was gonna take him with me. Cause I'm like, yo, if you could turn $5 into 5,000,
Yeah, you
I
can
might
do a
give
lot
you,
more.
I might give you 5,000 to go get 50,000.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I went to go look for the guy. I could not find him, and I was like, yo, was that a test to see if I would give my last $5 to this person? And I stopped and I said, you know what? I'm looking around for the dude now. Now the dude got my interest. Like, yo, I just gave you $5, and I'm picking up before I get to the next exit. I get a call to go pick up 5,000. I was like, yo, I'm going to share this money with this dude. You know what I mean? So couldn't find him. Got on there,
So
picked
you
up
never
the bread.
found him?
Never found the dude. Never found the dude.
That's crazy.
And I was just like, yo, you know what? Like, I'm thoroughly convinced that God was testing me to see if I would take and break myself with that $5 to make somebody else happy. And the reality is, I constantly do that because when I was homeless, because of my give back, God made sure I was straight when I was down. And that's the karma that I got.
That's a great
By paying it forward. And, you know, there are times that I gave money to a homeless person and they turn around and bought some liquor in front of me.
Yeah, see, that's what I was, afraid of.
I hate that shit,
So I
man.
turned around. So this is what I did, though. This is what I did. I prayed. I turned around and said, God, please, my hands going into this, I had pure intentions. Please do not punish me for contributing to this dude's addiction, weakness, whatever. I came from a pure place. I said, I want to have peace with the offering that I gave. May he find food and nutrients. God, please. So I have a peace of mind. And I left
That's
it
crazy,
there.
bro.
Because for me, it was really disrespectful. The homeless person disrespected me by taking my money, and he went to go buy a case of beer
Right in front of you, too.
right in front of me. So for me, I had to make a conscious decision. Do I snap on the guy? So I jumped into a prayer right then and there and prayed, and God turned around and when I made peace with what I gave from my money from my money to his hand, and actually seeing that, I just left it right there. I just said because I wanted God to know that my intentions wasn't to contribute to his addiction, to his weakness. You know what I'm saying? And I made him clear to him, and I made him feel like shit. I made the dude feel like shit. I turned around and said, here it is, you're down. You are not in the position
to be getting faded.
To take somebody's hard work and money and create something for you that's only going to be for the moment. I said, the thing is, though, I work hard. I gave you money. I should have just bought you some food, nutrients. I said, you don't have no nutrients in there. I said, I'm going to tell you something. You're just lucky that I'm a God-fearing person. And that's the frequency that I'm on.
Mm-hmm.
Because I wanted to beat the dude's ass.
You a martial artist, too.
Oh, man. I come in peace. My saying is I come in peace or leave you in pieces.
Hey, look, see, after a feel-good freaking story like that, then I don't even know how we could do what pissed me off segment.
Absolutely. It's just you gotta
like that's like one of the best feel-good stories of all time. And I was gonna say dude was an angel, but then you said you guys kept in contact for years after that.
Yeah.
So I'm
the guy that was an angel to me was the one that I gave $5 to.
Yeah. No,
I never saw him again.
No, I know I'm saying the original guy.
But the original guy,
Yeah.
I just look at anybody the way I look at my life is if anybody comes in contact with me, I feel like the most important thing that has to be expressed is I have to put myself in a space of being able to give. If I can't give to a person that I come into their life, I don't feel like I don't need to be in their life. My whole purpose, I almost died 10 times. So I'm not here on my clock.
10?
I'm here on God's clock. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I feel like if I can't come in your life and be a blessing, I don't want to be in your life. And I don't need nothing from you because God got it all, and I'm going to get it. I'm always going to have it.
I notice about successful people, they always hit you with some shit that you never thought of. Damn.
That's what you said. You said, I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, well, about that part, I was just saying it
One
was
of little things.
sort of kind of the same concept as far as being on the street and being out there with God knows what, around God knows who, and you have to be a certain way to survive on those streets, man.
Yeah.
And so that's what I thought he was going. But he's talking from a spiritual aspect, like fasting.
Yeah.
That was kind of deep, man. But I don't know if you guys want to go to the next segment.
What pissed you off?
He said he got a good one though. I mean,
yeah.
So,
but like I said, that was a feel good story though. But you might as well lead it in. Come on, you coming in you coming in hot. Let's go.
When somebody turn around and
this is what pissed us off this week.
What pissed you off this week?
Featuring
Duane DaRock.
Pissed me off this week. What really pissed me off this week is my mom called me up. She said, "Hey, I was like, Ma, you hungry?" She said, "Yeah." She said, "Can you get me a fat burger?" So I was like, "All right." So I'm like, "Mom, fat burger's a little away from where I'm at." She said, "Duane, well, Carl's Jr., something, McDonald's, something." I said, "Ma, I'll get you a fat burger. It's way more healthier." So I'm at a light. Yo, this dude came out of nowhere and threw a freaking milkshake at my car.
No.
Yo.
Wow.
You cut him off or something?
And that was this week.
Listen, I'm in the middle lane.
Yeah.
Ready to turn left. This dude turned around,
some prankster.
pulled up on the side of me and threw a milkshake
Yeah.
at my window.
Yeah.
Wow.
So all I see is the shit dripping down. All I see is it dripping down in the inside of my car because my window was down.
Damn.
So I turned around and said, "Well, it's time to whip some ass." So I got in my so I'm in the left lane. This dude turned right. So
Wait, they got a guy in a car next to you?
Yes, he came on the side of me and went like this. Through the shit. My window was open. I got the milkshake inside of my car.
Oh.
So I turned around and said, "You know what?" I really scratched my temple and said, "It's time to whip some ass." So I immediately turned right and chased this dude. I went through lights. I went through intersections.
Jeez.
And I had a pipe. I got, it's called, excuse the French, but it's called an end behavior stick.
Oh, we know those.
You know what I'm saying? So it's called an end behavior
we all know those.
You know what I'm saying? So
We used to call them nigga sticks back in the day.
well, this is called nigga behavior stick. Okay, so that's what it's called. So
MBS.
excuse the French.
You have to market that. You might have to market that.
MBS.
You got kids in there, we gotta be respectful. So my thing is, right? So I turn around and I grabbed it. Right? I grabbed it. And if you know, if you telling on myself, it's okay. But it's a mic stand. It's a broken mic stand. That's called the nigga behavior stick.
Yeah.
So all I did, I rolled up on the side of him, and all I did was stick this nozzle out the window.
Oh.
Thought it was
He
a gun.
must have thought it was a
Thought it was a gun.
Yeah.
assault rifle.
Some.
All you see is a long nozzle sticking
Yeah.
out the window.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That dude where my mother calls. Duane, what's taking you so long? I said, Mom. She said, I said, Ma,
I'm teaching
about
niggas how to
whip-
behave.
I said, I'm about to whip this dude's ass. He do it. She said, Duane, all I wanted was a fat burger. All I wanted was a fat burger. You mean to tell me you're gonna go whip somebody's ass? Like, did they burn my food? Did they mess up the fat burger? Like, when did you have time?
That's ball for you, boy.
When did you have time to go whip somebody's ass or go want to whip somebody's ass when I called you up and said I wanted a fat burger? Mustard and ketchup and cheese and a fry and a Coke. Duane, where do you have time? My food's going to be cold. So you're going to put hands on somebody.
That's my
whip
ball
their
right there,
ass.
bro. That's
You're
my
gonna
ball
whip-
right there,
So
dog.
Duane, you're gonna whip their ass, give me cold food. Have I ever gave you cold food your whole life? I said no.
I'm laughing because that's my mom in the flesh, bro. Like she's
Oh,
like,
wow.
"Where's my? Like, you can do that later. Like, give me where my shit
So I
at."
turned around and I said, you know what, Ma? Out of respect, I'm gonna make sure you get your it's gonna be hot. I said, you know what? So I turned around, like literally did a whole U-turn while traffic was coming, because I was in the right lane, turning from the right lane and went all the way around, right? So now I'm in the fat burger line. So then this lady was in there. She was like, I want to get this. I want to get that. I want to get this. I want to get that.
Oh, wow.
I'm not sure if I want this.
You
What
gotta
do
go.
you think? I said, ma'am, can I be honest with you? She said, yes. Can you hurry up, please? A matter of fact, how about this? I'm going to pay for your meal.
Well, let me go first.
I'm going to pay for your meal. Because you can't make up your mind right now. I'm in a rush. I said, I'm going to pay for your meal, and then you're going to be happy. She was like, but sir, you're going to pay for something. You're not sure what I'm getting. I'm not sure what I'm getting. So we have to make a decision on what I'm going to get. I said,
Damn.
ma'am, I said, listen, I'm going to give you $20.
This a cold. This a cold
Absolutely.
day, boy.
I'm gonna give you
Now I'm
20
pissed
bucks.
now. Like,
I'm gonna give you.
now
20,
I'm pissed off.
So I'm gonna give you $20 and you figure it out. I said, but I'm going in front of you, right? So I ordered my food. So my mom calls again. She said, "Oh man, them fries is freezing now. Them fries got ice cubes on them." I said, "Ma, I'm in the line right now. I'm getting your food." So as soon as I get to the house, right, my mother's I handed the bag. She puts her hands over the bag and she's like, Duane, wow, they're hot. I was like, Mom, you expect me to give you cold
she
food?
didn't believe you.
She said, well, the kind of bullshit mission that you was on, these fries would have been frozen by now. Like, and I
That's
said,
funny,
I said, you know what? I says, I really want to thank you for reiterating the food, because I totally forgot about it, because I was mad, I was angry. She said, what would you have done? I said, Ma, I got a nigga behavior stick in my car. I can make a choice if I can do them dirty with the stick or put my martial art hands on him.
I'll take
You know
martial
what I'm
arts.
saying? So she was like, and then what? You would have got in jail. You would have been in trouble. And all because I wanted a fat burger. Was it really worth it? I said, "Oh my, you got your burger. Eat."
Right.
Just
She,
eat,
she
like,
wasn't tripping on your freedom. She was tripping on them fries. Really. All right, let's go. We want to go, Malik?
Monty, what pissed you off this week?
You know what? I feel like every time we do this, like I try to keep it on the positive thing. You know what I
This
mean?
is
But
this
like,
is a release, brother.
yo, this
is a release, brother.
This actually did piss me off. So, I've ventured into the body contouring space, and
the body contouring space.
the body contouring space.
And
yeah.
what is that like?
So basically, like, you know, for those who maybe are having a little challenge with maybe getting their six-pack or whatever, like we do non-invasive body contouring
Okay.
to, you know, help sculpt the
Okay.
body or whatever.
Got you.
So anyway, I worked on this client 2 weeks ago. He contacted the manager of the spot, the owner of the spot. Like he contacted the owner of the spot and where I'm practicing body contouring, and said he got a rash.
Oh,
But I worked on him 2 weeks ago, and somehow it's my fault.
yeah, a rash. That's usually due from.
That's usually due to
rashes come
cleanliness.
from, yeah, cleanliness. Or,
Yeah.
Seafood. Wow.
Yeah,
but you have to be allergic to.
You have to be allergic
something
to,
to,
and it's just like that did.
But how long does it take for a rash to form? Is that you know?
I don't know. Not no 2 weeks though.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Yeah, and
So
it's
you're
like
pissed off because they
Listen,
yeah,
Depends on the rash, I guess.
And I know that I have a blamable face, and it's like I know that like
Blamable face.
a blamable
I've never heard
face.
that. What's that?
You know, because it's like people see the kindness in the eyes, and they attempt to get you effed up. You know what I mean?
I got you. I got
Yeah,
you.
like, and it's like, don't get me wrong. Like, you know, I do my best to practice holiness, but at the same time, I'm like, bro, that wasn't me. That's you. That's your problem.
All right.
And you have a good day. And it was just like, yeah, and it's like what I think it honestly was. He didn't want to pay for the service,
Right.
Because it was just like when it got time for him to pay, that was the only thing that tripped him up. It was like, yo, you have to do about 8 sessions for this to really work.
Yeah.
He was having trouble with the 3. He was stumbling over, like, you know, it was wearing thin on his pockets. I don't know. Then it's just like, not only that,
and not to get out. Yeah.
Yeah, and like, yo, the owner, she's very good at what she does. And so it's like, yo, she was hitting him with the upsell, and it's like before she was hit him with a 2-piece before he even knew what happened. You know what I mean? So he probably spent a little bit more than he wanted to, and then he was like checking the bank account. He was trying to see where he could get that refund from. You know,
a rash. You gotta come up with something better than that, bro.
Absolutely, especially from 2 weeks ago, man. You gonna get out of here and have a nice day.
Yeah.
That pissed me off.
What was the term you said? What kind of face?
Believable.
A blamable face.
Blamable.
Because it's just like, yo,
between the nigga beater stick and the blamable face, that's the best shit ever.
Because people
right
like saying Monty did it.
I should go get the nigga behavior stick.
Yo, go get that
Yeah,
stick,
I want
bro.
to take a picture with
Go
it.
get the stick, man.
See that stick?
Get that stick.
You are gonna laugh so hard.
Yeah.
And the reason why you're gonna laugh
'Cause it
is
don't
when
look
you
like-
realize it's the mic stand that's broke.
Listen,
The part that the mic goes connected to.
Hey, yo,
and you shouldn't be getting those type of services if you're driving up on a moped. I'm just saying. Like, you know what I mean?
That moped gave him the rash.
Yeah, the
obviously.
moped
Hey,
gave
we
him the
try to- he
rash.
try to-
Hey,
Yeah.
he trying to save gas.
I'm trying to
you know what?
say.
The crazy thing is when you talk about that, guy blaming you for a rash. Well, the thing is though, how long after? So it was a week, 2 weeks after he called.
2 weeks after.
Well, crazy thing is, if he had got the rash, rashes show up
the
within
same
48
day.
hours.
Yeah, like
Absolutely.
couple
Oh,
days.
the
I'm
40.
saying?
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is about a rash, depending on what kind of rash it is, it could be something that's food related. It could be fabric related, like sitting on something. You get ringworm from sitting on something.
like
You
a
know what I'm
moped
saying?
seat.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So for him to turn around,
It's the moped.
for him to turn around 2 weeks later.
Yo.
Yeah, that's
yo.
14 days. That's
Yeah.
crazy. What you got? What you got, Malik?
Go, Reed. Come on, Reed.
Oh, it's on
I'm
me?
gonna go last. Yeah.
You gonna go last?
Yeah,
Hey
we're
man, it's
going
people, it's
clockwise.
women and children in here. You know, I get a little, I get a little turnt. I'm not gonna do a whole bunch, but basically they had this World's Strongest Woman competition this
Okay.
week. I don't know, in Texas. If you guys heard about that, and it was basically rigged. A biological man won by 1 point.
Excuse me?
A
A biological man won by 1 point. I mean, of course, he was.
That's where we at now.
bro, by 1 point. So just put that in perspective. You're a biological man competing against women, and you only won by 1 point.
Yeah.
Right? He was last place in the men's competition. Then he's first place in the women's competition. And when they were up there like holding up the trophies, the second place winner, who was actually the first place winner, she was like, man, that's some bullshit. Like, I'm out of here.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
fuck
yeah.
this. You know what I'm saying? So then after the backlash, everybody's like, the committee came out and said, oh, we didn't know that it was a man. We had no idea. How the competitors know that it's a man, but you didn't know, and you're the people who put on the show.
Yeah.
I just thought that was BS. That just pissed me off, dog. Like, I don't really trip on, like, if you want to live your life a certain way, you want to be trans, whatever. I don't even like to say the terms because I always get them wrong, and they think that I'm being disrespectful.
Yeah, absolutely.
But like, if you want to do that kind of thing, that's cool. But stay in your own space, bro. Why are you competing against women?
Bro, this is like that time Caitlyn Jenner got Woman of the Year,
Oh,
and they
my
did the cover
freaking
story.
God, bro. Caitlyn Jenner won Woman of the Year.
Woman of the Year, her first year being a woman.
Bro, that's just disrespectful. You know, I have daughters now, so it's like I have a whole different respect and a whole different outlook on women. Like, since I have 3 daughters now, right?
Yeah.
And they're just as strong and just as intelligent as us, man.
Absolutely.
But this is just ridiculous right here. That woman got her trophy taken by a man, bro. Like, now they got to compete with us in that kind of circle too.
Yeah.
I just thought that just pissed me off, dog.
That's
And,
right.
and the way she was standing up there, or it or he or whatever was standing up there flexing and posing and stuff.
I did
Bro,
it. I did it.
You only beat her by
Finally.
1 point, man.
Finally, yeah.
That mean you weak as hell. You soft, bro. Like,
That's why
man,
they switched over. Yeah.
that pissed me off, bro.
Yeah, I feel that.
That pissed me off.
Yeah, what pissed me off this week, I'm crazy, so I got a lot of things that pissed me off all through the week.
I had to narrow
in a
it down.
beautiful way.
I had to narrow
me
it
too.
down.
I narrowed it down to yesterday. Actually, I took a drop. I don't really take drops. I like the lash and auto drop, like auto cone. I took a pole drop.
I don't
and
like
I
none of
seen,
that shit.
So let me explain to him. So we have 4 different sizes poses: 2 high, 3 high, 4 high, and a 5 high. Right?
Malik, when you get to talking about this long summer stuff, people
Longshoremen's.
don't know what you're talking about.
Yo, because you lost
Hey.
me completely. I was like,
No, because when I listen to the show, I'm like, bro, nobody's gonna know what he means right there. Just get to what pissed you off. Try to leave the technical terms out
The
of
technical,
it.
right?
Because they
right.
don't know. Nobody, when you
We
say
got to
4
have a-
high, long high, nobody
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
I barely don't know, and I work there.
I gotta show visuals on this. But anyway,
Exactly.
somebody was videoing me. Like, I seen a technique that the Daysiders tried, and they basically hooked these 2 poles together and they threw them on the ship. I was like, man, how he do that? That's kind of, you know what I mean? Because I've been going for a minute. So I tried it last night, and I fumbled it, and somebody videotaped it and sent it around, and they didn't say nothing. They were just trying to clown about it. You know what I mean? I was like experimenting. Homie's like, hey man, don't experiment in front of these fools because they always trying to look for one up on you somewhere. That kind of pissed me off because
Man,
it's
that
like,
shit pissed me off right now.
it's like some
man.
childish stuff, behavior, and I was like, man, how come they not man enough to come say it to my face? Like, or like, hey man, what you doing? Like, you know what I mean? Right then, and they don't videotape me and then
they
send
just
it around.
world star you. Like,
But,
Yeah,
then
yeah.
nobody like
Confront
tell
me or
you
say-
how to.
nah,
Then
man,
nobody tell
nobody-
you.
no, they
You
was
just
just-
tried it on your own.
Yeah, I
though.
was just like experimenting.
Yeah, well then
Yeah,
you experimenting.
yeah.
I mean,
So that
you ain't gonna
was
get
it.
it perfect on the first try.
Yeah, exactly. But
fuck?
that's what pissed me off.
Yeah,
this
but
week.
that whole lashing thing, you a strong man, bro.
Yeah,
You are
Do it day and night.
mentally, emotionally strong
Yo,
person,
I had
bro.
to go look that up when you was talking about it last time, and I didn't realize like that was what you did. I was like, yo,
Yeah. We're gonna get some visuals on it.
It ain't no joke, bro.
it ain't no joke.
You could be in the best
At
shape
all.
in the world. If you go up there on that ship, you're gonna
Absolutely.
be like, damn.
Yeah,
Like-
Malik is strong as an ox.
Yeah, yeah,
For
You know
sure.
what I'm saying?
there's some
Like,
stuff
straight
going
up.
on.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're gonna get ready to take a break, but before we do, let me just drop this real reactions real quick. We're gonna watch this real reaction.
How long is the real?
It's probably less than 30,
Okay.
45 seconds.
All right,
It's a
let's
good
hit
one.
it.
It's from last week's segments when we was talking about the nigga word and all this stuff. So I just wanted to drop this real. Let's
All right, let's hit it.
Ask you a question without you getting offended? Sure, Charlie Brown. What is it? Why can't black people forget about slavery? I mean, it ended all those years ago, and yet when something happens with your people, it's brought back up. Why?
Why they
do you have a
tainting Charlie
pretty
Brown like
vivid
this?
Imagination? I think so. What should I imagine? Imagine that I knocked all your teeth out your fucking head. How soon do you think that you'd forget? Well, I probably wouldn't forget anytime soon. Especially since my teeth were gone. Exactly. And you would probably forgive me, but you would never forget. And the only time it's brought up is when something remotely similar happens. Wow. What on earth could possibly be similar to slavery, Franklin? I don't know if you knew this or not, but lynchings never stopped. They're finding young black men hanging from trees that had absolutely no mental health issues. They even found one hanging from a tree at a golf course of all places. I mean, come on! And lynching isn't always physical, Charlie Brown. It can be mental, too. Now, it's mostly psychological lynching. They're not wearing sheets over their heads anymore. Now they're wearing business suits and dress pants. Other forms of lynching are methods of social, psychological, and economic control that enforce racial hierarchy and instill fear. You're excluded from jobs and other important opportunities that others have access to because of the color of our skin. That's lynching. Man, Franklin, I never looked at it like that before. I'm sorry that y'all have to continue to endure this kind of pain. It's okay, Charlie Brown. It's people like you that makes me realize that all is not lost, and that there's still some great people out here. Well, thanks for clearing that up for me, Franklin.
Yeah, that's it. Shout out to B Black Soul Double L for that real. But yeah, that's why white people can't say the nigga word, because it's just like embedded into the heart when we go to the grocery stores and we go around the things and the pressures that we've been dealing with and have to deal with. So, you know, that's
Man,
one job.
that-
How do you feel about that real? How do you guys feel about that real reaction?
That was like a trigger for me too, because the reason why is, have you ever got kicked out of school permanently
Yep.
Mhm.
because somebody called you a nigga?
No.
Oh no.
Okay, I'm 5 years old.
Uh-huh.
I get kicked out of kindergarten. The Portuguese kid comes up to me and says, "You're a nigga," and punches me in the stomach.
Oh.
Mm.
So I fall to the ground, cry, go to the nurse's office to make a complaint. The nurse said, "You deserve it."
Damn.
The nurse was a nun. I mean, nurse officer was a nun. Catholic church. I went to a Catholic school. She said, "You probably deserved it." When she said that, she went to go sit down. I kicked the chair.
Yeah.
She fell. She said, "You're expelled. You're no longer here."
You kicked.
I got kicked out of school,
Mm.
5th grade. I mean, 5 years old.
Yeah.
Got kicked out of kindergarten.
Yeah.
So I went to a public school. So fast forward, I'm home. This was 5 years ago. I'm home. I see the dude that called me a nigga. I said, "Yo, what's up, man? How you doing?" I put my hand up to go like shake his hand and clocked the shit out of him.
Gave
Punched
him
him
the
in his
okey
stomach.
doke.
I punched him in his stomach and dropped him.
Mm.
He was like, "What the F is wrong with you? Who are you?" I said, "You call me a nigga
He didn't remember you.
in kindergarten." He said, "What the fuck? What the hell? That was over 35 years ago. What is your problem? What is your problem? That was over. Oh my, are you serious?" So I heard a little voice in my head.
Oh, wait, hold on. It was 35 years before?
It was probably longer than that. You know what I'm saying? It was probably longer.
Hey,
than
but how
that.
could you
so this
forget?
was 5 years ago. It was 5 years ago. He said it was over 35 years ago. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't 35, it was over 35 years ago. Come on, I'm 50.
Okay,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? It was longer than that.
Hey, you never forgot
You know
that guy,
what I'm
though.
saying? But I heard a little voice in my head. So the voice in my head said, "Hit him again." So I'm over here debating if it's God. I'm over here debating
On
if it's
this
God.
shoulder or on this
Right.
shoulder?
If I'm debating if it's God, I don't mess with the devil, so I don't give him no credit at all. Even when bad shit happens, I don't say it's the devil.
Yeah,
That's-
me
that's
You know
either.
what I mean?
Me
Like,
either.
and I got cussed out behind that philosophy because somebody, a family member, said, "No, don't say God does bad things. Like the devil has does bad things." And I got into a debate with her about it, and I turned around and I said, "You know what? Like, I don't ever want to get into that because that's the first time I've ever had that type of tension."
Go back to the
You know what I
voice.
mean?
Go.
So I'm gonna go back to that. So the voice in my head said, "Hit him again." Like, so
That tone
That's
don't
what I
sound
said.
angelic,
That
though.
didn't
Like, that
sound
don't
like
sound
God.
holy.
Yeah.
Like,
That didn't sound like, hit him again. Do it.
so I literally helped him up. He was still on the ground. I helped him up, and I clocked him again. I hit him in the solar plex. Dropped him again, right? So now
That was definitely the devil.
Now I have a smile on my face.
Because you're
right?
happy.
I have a smile on my face. Got in the car, drove home from staying at my mom's. I woke her up at 3:00 in the morning, banging on her door. She said, "I'm sleeping." I said, "I need you up." My mother's like, "Take your ass to F the bed down. I'll see you tomorrow." So now I'm knocked out. My mother's going to work for 7:00. She comes in the room, slaps my feet, and says, "Get up. Get up. What's the problem? What's going on?" I said, "Ma, I finally got a hold of the guy that hit me in kindergarten." She said, "Huh?" I said, "Ma, you remember I got kicked out of kindergarten? I got my ass whipped by you, Uncle Jojo, Uncle Toy, David, Mickey.
Did you wrong?
I got 5 ass whippings and got kicked out of school."
So you trauma punched that guy.
I said, "Do you realize?"
Trauma punch.
I said, "Ma, do you realize how long I've been holding on to that anger?" I said, "So I am triggered by the N-word, even when it comes to our own people, and even when I use it, I'm triggered." You know what I'm saying? So when I tell you, my mother was like, "What else are you holding on to?" I said, "Ma, I got a list." And my mom turned around and said, "Am I on the list?" And I said, "Ma, I would never hurt you. I would never do anything." She said, "But I just want to know, at what point in your life was you going to actually release that and not act on that?" So
today?
How many more of this do you have inside of you? Like, how much anger do you have inside? And I stopped and I was like, yo, I have enough anger inside of me to really be set off for the rest of my life.
Man,
You know what I'm saying?
35
so for me,
years prior. That's some sweet revenge right there.
So for me, if I'm 45, 46 years old, and I've been holding something on for 46, and really have an opportunity to act on that 46, for the rest of my life is screwed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's that much of a buildup, it's that much anger, it's that much of, that's some premeditated shit. You know what I'm saying? So for me, so what I had to do was I got into a prayer and asked God to remove and rebuke all negative energy, low frequency out of my energy. Forgive everybody that did me wrong. May you forgive me for anybody I did wrong. And I had to come at peace with myself because I realized I was about to turn into something really toxic because I had a lot of hatred in me from dealing with people who pissed me off, who done things to me, and I didn't know how to process it or have anybody to talk to. So I would lash out with behavior. So my name at one point in time was called Atomic Bomb. Because I was the dude that would blow up, and you wouldn't think, you would see me, see my energy, see a smile on the face, but you didn't think in your head that this dude
was really John Wick.
Is Mr. Setoff.
Nigga sticks and all.
It's Mr. Setoff. So I had to learn. So like when I got with a grandmaster, started learning martial arts, I learned how to center all of that energy. Got into hugging trees. Got into a garden. Got into love.
Hugging trees.
Really tapped into a level of just relieving and releasing all that.
Let me stop you right there. But when you hear that thing right there about the slavery thing, why are black people still connected to slavery? That still is a trigger, though.
It's a trigger because the reality is, here is the reality. We are still in the matrix. At the end of the day, no matter how you look at it, no matter how independent you think you are, you're not. And anything you own, you don't own until if you may own a house, but if you don't pay taxes on that house,
that shit's
you
gone.
don't own it. You don't own the land. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for me, it's just, and if you do own the land, you got to, there's certain things that you have to do to set yourself up, and you got to know how to navigate in life without being triggered or bothered by politics, by things that people immediately jump into character over and just get a flashback and trigger. And at the end of the day, you know, peace of mind is where it's really at. And I had to learn that.
Yeah.
But I went through that with a lot of pain in my life of figuring out how I could process this shit. And I said the fastest way for me to get rid of it is to really verbally abuse somebody.
Yeah, I like that.
And because I never knew how to communicate. I didn't come from a household of communication. So I never knew how to communicate. So the only word I would really know how to do to you, if I couldn't hit you physically, is I would destroy you verbally. And what I realized that is not a godly thing. So I had to learn how to speak to people, even take the higher road. So I've done a lot of work on myself over the years of becoming a better person and learning how to communicate. You know what I'm saying?
I get sick of being the bigger person though, and you know that's just me personally though. But you wanna take that break or you wanna keep
I want to hear your reaction and then we'll take a break.
Okay, well,
How do you feel about this?
Off top,
It's a,
why do you care about what black people feel? Like, why are you so concerned with our emotion and what we're dealing with? White people got that bad, bro, and it ain't just white people, bro. It's other people. You know, it be Asian people, it be Hispanic people. Whoa, why are black people so? Why are you worried about why we feel a certain way? And it's the same. Do you tell the Jews to forget about the Holocaust?
exactly.
Do you tell the Japanese to forget about the atomic bomb?
Yeah.
Do you tell any other race of people to get over or forget their pain and trauma?
And that's what they always do to us. They ask us,
they-
why do you feel this way? Why don't you get over it? It's a long time ago.
Why do you care how we feeling? You know what I mean? On top, but then you don't tell. Like I said, they got over 200 Holocaust museums in America, and the Holocaust didn't even happen in American soil. And then when you read up and say, hey, when I ask Jewish people, hey, why is the Holocaust, memorabilia so important to you? Oh, we just want to make sure that this never repeats itself. It never happens again. You know, it's important to know this. Okay, well, why I can't feel like that with slavery? Why you want me to forget slavery for black people? It's the same thing. So you okay with that shit happening again?
It's worse when you add up all the oppression and
all the shit after, the Jim Crow laws, the mass incarceration. I mean, it's just these people are like got blinders on, bro. And I think they just be trying to be funny, bro.
Dangerous Minds podcast. Jay Reed, aka Malik, aka Malik and Jay Reed. Taking a break. We'll be right back.
Right
Then
back.
Duane DaRock's in the building. Dangerous Minds podcast.
And that
Jay
milkshake,
Reed and aka Malik.
that milkshake story, have you going though?
Welcome back. Welcome back.
The milkshake story.
Let's do it.
Duane
Let's do
DaRock's in the building. Special guest. Bum, bum, bum. You already know. He was telling us that was one out of the 5 things that pissed him off this week. There's only 7 days in a week. I'm not sure what happened on the weekend, but it's a long
He's had
week.
an eventful week, like.
Yeah, Jerry, good looking out on creating that ventilation segment for people can get it off their chest because
Bro, you got to, man. Like, because people are annoying. Hell, just driving over here, I'm like a road rager, but I try to like talk to myself, rather than like reaching out the window and all that stuff. Because you can get your ass shot walking around in LA. Like,
I got road rage too.
Yeah.
I mean, but people just do stupid shit. Like, it's like, damn, like I be counting the stupid people now. I be like, there go 1, 2. By the time I get to the studio, I'm like, dude, 8 stupid motherfuckers. 1. Like, I'm like, all right, come on, calm down, breathe.
Too many.
See, I stopped smoking, so like that kind of like.
Oh, you did?
Wait,
hold on. You stopped smoking when?
Well, because I had, I got diagnosed with like a enlarged heart and some other stuff.
Yeah,
so
so
it's like I just kind of calmed down. I have a new routine. I'll just smoke like Saturday morning, like 1, 2 hits, and that should be having me high all damn day. So
Yeah.
like I'm cool with that right there. But throughout the week, yeah.
So you know how to cure that, right?
Kill what?
Cure it.
I've been doing a lot of reading and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, but
If you need some help, let me know.
I will. I'm taking on all information. But shit, man, we got a little bit of time left, man. I'm just get into DaRock real quick.
Yeah, DaRock.
I just wanted to talk to you about as far as like your producing, like getting into the music industry and everything, like in the quickest way possible. Maybe you could like tell us how did you get into the music game and like what, when did you really get on, like on?
Yeah, and so start with a few of the biggest names you produce, just so people can kind of filter out who
have an
you've been
idea.
dealing with. Who you've been dealing with.
Well, I came in the game producing Big Daddy Kane,
Yep.
Kool Moe D, Diggable Planets, Karen White, LL Cool J,
Yeah.
Busta Rhymes, Jadakiss, The Lox,
Heavy hitters.
Neo, Redman, Method Man, Talib Kweli, Common.
You said Karen White, so you're doing R&B,
R&B
and
yep.
rap.
Yep. Mary J. Blige. Did a lot of remixes for her. KRS-One.
That's a hell of a catalog, man.
And NLE Chopper. Now, Janet Jackson.
Damn.
Who else?
Is there anyone that you haven't worked with that you wish you could have worked with?
Oh, yeah. So, in my manifestation now, actually, my partner, Jasmine, we're manifesting Nas, which is already in agreement, in alignment to the divine order. So we will be producing Nas, J. Cole,
MP3.
MP3. Yeah.
Who's that?
That's me.
Oh, there you go.
So
shout out to MP3.
So as far as like there's the wish list, like Nas. Like for me, I got called at 2:00 in the morning to come down to Westlake Studio. His manager called me up. Was like, "Yo, Rock, what are you doing?" I said, "I'm about to go to sleep. What's up?" He said, "Nas is over here. He's stuck." I said, "Stuck?" He said, "He might need some ideas or some inspiration. Can you come down?" So I go down to Westlake. I see Crown Royal. I see Hennessy. I see Remy Martin. I see all these liquors on the console, weed, all that stuff. I go in. I said, "Yo, what's up, bro? You good?" He was like, yeah, I'm just, trying to run the track. So the engineer runs the record. And I'm over here like, so then I said, why don't you just try one thing? He was like, I said, why don't you change the direction you're facing? Let's face another direction. And you might be able to come with some creative juices that just flow.
You mean the position in his chair?
Yeah. The positioning of where he's facing. I said, cause I'm a feng shuiist, so I'm big in that. I go into people's houses, I go to people's studio, and I change the direction of how people face. I tell people face northwest when you're communicating, face southwest. You pray facing east. East is Mecca, so Muslims pray facing east.
That's crazy, bro.
And that's not just for Muslims. That's where you're supposed to be praying. Period.
Towards the east.
East. Far East.
So you told Nas to switch his chair. What happened after?
I told Nas to switch the position of where he's sitting in, and when I gave him that, he was like, yeah, but it went over his head, right? So then I go to Luce. I said, Luce, I'm gonna tell you, because his name is Luce. I said, Luce, let me tell you, like the way he's positioned, he ain't gonna get shit out of that position. I'm just letting you know, it's not it.
That's crazy, bro.
So he went back in there. And it made Nas go to the other side of the room, and he knocked out 3 records that night.
Yeah.
Crazy. The next day, he called Luce, said, "Yo, I want to see that. I want to kick it with that dude, DaRock. Call him up." So we all went and took our kids to the zoo, San Diego Zoo. My son at the time was about 11 years old, 12 years old. So, and we just kicked it. You know what I'm saying? Got a good rapport. Still to this day, he remembers what I brought to him. Just never had an opportunity to cook something up because I was always on to something else. Jadakiss, and then I meet Jasmine, my production partner, and first words out of her mouth is, "Let's make a banger for Nas," and that's when we cooked up something for Nas that he loves right now. So we're gonna be knocking that out.
So as a producer, are you just, when you making beats, are you thinking about specific artists? Like, yeah, this gonna be for this person. Or
what I do is because I'm a rapper myself, I go in there and sound like the rapper. So I put the tonation on the record already. So when they hear it, it immediately connects with them because I already captured their essence on that record. Every record I produce on Jadakiss, I went, the rhyme, the vibe. Started rapping like him. Not with the bars, because he got better bars.
I love Jadakiss, bro.
But I go in there and I be like, I played him a record with me on the hook. He was like, "Yo, when did I do that?" I was like, "Yo, you
That's
didn't
me.
do that."
Right.
I'm doing it for you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So out of all those artists, like, I mean, I don't want to like throw nobody under the bus, but who was like one of the most difficult artists for you that you had to work with?
The most difficult artist? Whoa. Shit. I think we had to work out the kinks. It was. They weren't difficult. Big Daddy Kane. I have to say the most difficult, challenging, like to feel each other out, was Big Daddy Kane. Because we had a whole session. It was like Coolio, like a whole bunch of rappers in the session. And they were all like, yeah, like bobbing their head. And he's rapping. And I turned around and said, nah, that ain't it.
Ooh.
Yo, on God. He turned around and said, what? I said, nah, that ain't it. He said, what you mean? Yo, so he turned
Big
around.
Daddy Kane. Yeah, I don't know. Look him up.
Bro, you'll get beat up for doing that shit, man.
Look up
Yo,
Big Daddy
Kane
Kane.
is known for hands.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I just said, dog.
Like, I swear, on my grandmother's grave, straight up, right? So he was like, he goes, what? And he threw the headphones down. So he comes into the room. Yo, so I'm over here sitting down. I got my left. See, I'm southpaw. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
So,
they ain't gonna see it coming.
My left hand is crazy. The chi that I put on, that I distribute on my left hand.
The chi.
Oh, you get
totally dismantled. Like straight up.
Nah, I got you.
I'm a sleeper. You'll sleep on me when it comes to the left. You get hit with it, you might not wake up.
It's hard to see it
You know what
coming
I'm saying?
too.
For a couple days, but you will wake up. But the point is, so he coming over. Mind you, there's 14 people in the studio. He was like, what you saying? I said, yo, that shit ain't it. I said, if that shit is whack, I'm whack. We both produce this record. He said, everybody get the fuck out the studio. He kicked everybody out the studio.
Damn.
Coolio, all of the rappers that were there, he kicked everybody out the studio. And he said, lock this door. He said, I fucks with you. And I was like, he said, I don't fuck with yes men. He said, yo, you turn around and you wasn't scared to tell me. He said, who else have you produced for? And I looked at him, I said, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. You're the only motherfucker I produced. He was like, you the only, he said, I'm the only person. I said, yo, you were giving me a shot. He says, yo, I would have never known that. He said, I got a lot of respect for you, and I want you to A&R my whole album.
Damn.
I want you to listen to my whole album, and you tell me what's hot on there. He said, I respect your ear.
Boom.
So I turn around, so he's sitting on the side of me. So I still got my hand. You know what I'm saying? I got a fist.
Back to
Yeah, watch this nigga.
Yo, I got a fist talking to him. On God, I got a fist talking to him because I don't know him. You know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? And he was that angry when I told him, yo, that shit ain't it.
Yeah.
Yo, turn around and was like, yo, stand up. So I'm like, okay, now, okay. I think here we gonna fight. You know what I'm saying? And the dude said,
After he complimented you.
The dude turned around, took his hand and said, yo, give me something right now. And he gave me a hug and he said, yo, I fucks with you. He says, how old are you? I said, bro, you ain't gonna believe this shit. I said, I'm 24 years old, bro. So I'm 24 and you're the first person that I've ever produced. And I plan on producing big artists. I says, all I need from you is just to trust the energy. He was like, energy? I said, the energy, bro. Trust the energy and we'll lock in and we'll have consistency. And we locked in. And that dude, to this day, picks up my calls, shows love, and everything.
That's what's up.
That's dope.
That used to be my favorite artist.
Big Daddy.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. What about like artists who are like kind of like in the street still, and like you trying to like work with them on a professional level? Have you ever experienced that where it's like, come on, bro, like we in the studio right now, we ain't on that gangster shit right now?
Definitely. There was time where shit was about to go haywire.
Right.
So this dude,
can you talk about who it was, or
this dude came into my studio, and he was just like, I said, yo, we need to do that again. He said, nah, I ain't doing it. I was like, all right, well, the record ain't getting done. It's still gonna get done. I was like, huh? How are we going to get done if you ain't gonna do it? He was like, yo, listen, let me explain something to you right now, nigga. He said, I had to move at my own pulse. I don't give a fuck about this industry shit. I said, can I ask you something?
is that what you here for?
I said, I want to know something like for real.
I'm trying to.
What the fuck do I have to do with your fucking attitude right now? Like straight up, like real talk. What do I have to fucking do with your attitude that you have right now that you're distributing in my motherfucking studio? Nah, it ain't that. Like, you know, I said, listen, I said, nah. I said, you know what? I said, I'm going to make it easy for you. We ain't doing this fucking session. So the dude that he's with runs over and says, yo, Rod, what's going on, man? Why you like? I said, nigga, you know me. I'm all about energy, bro.
Yeah.
I said, your man's energy is fucked up, bro.
Damn.
Like, I'm not doing this shit. I said, I you know, like, I roll with a peaceful spirit, peaceful energy. I put my all in this, and then and your man gonna come up in here and be disrespectful? He was like, nah, Rock, you taking it the wrong way. I said, yo, nah, we ain't taking it. I said, this shit is over. I said, matter of fact, press the lock button. This was in the studio next door. Me and Malik had a spot next door.
Yeah.
I turned around, I was like, yo, just press the button and lock the shit. And I called up Monty and said, yo, just do me a favor, go by the studio to make sure the door's locked. I left. My man knows how I get down, so my man ain't gonna fuck up my shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, our shit, you know? So at the time, I was just like, yo, you know what? Got out of there. I'm in my car. The dude calls me up on Instagram because how we was talking was through the Instagram video. So he calls me up and he was like, yo, man, I just want to apologize to you. I said, apologize for what, bro?
The artist or his man?
The artist that flipped out.
Yeah.
He said, I want to apologize to you. I said, first off, you can't apologize to me, bro, because I didn't do shit to you to make you mad. I said, you need to apologize to yourself.
Right.
Have peace with yourself, and then I'll think about if I want to have peace with you after you have peace with yourself. He was like, what kind of shit? He was like, yo, like, Rock, what, like, I don't want to have no problems. I said, listen, I'm not a confrontation. I said, if I wanted to put hands on your knee, I would have done it right then and there. So there's no beef. I'm not mad at you. I said, but what you're not gonna do is ever come in my establishment and disrespect the frequency that I have there. I said, straight up, I'll go to my grave behind this music shit because I almost died 10 times. So I'm not here on no one else's clock. And music is the only thing that really saved my life. You understand? So at the end of the day, like I'm a ride for this music shit. You know what I'm saying? Like straight up.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna put myself in harm's way, but I'm never gonna be able to be punked in this industry. Ain't no one gonna front me off in this industry. Because at the end of the day, I have a different demeanor. I don't want to track that shit.
And that's how you get shit done.
You know what I'm saying? I get it done because the work ethic speaks for itself.
What you got, Monty?
Which actually brings up an interesting question because you said in this industry, like, you're never going to allow yourself to be, like, fronted or anything like that. What advice would you give to the young producer or the young composer? Because realizing beat making and actually producing are two different things. We could go into that. Matter of fact, do you want to answer that question?
Well, first off, a beat maker is a person who makes the beats. A producer is a person who gathers all the elements and creates the whole final product. Is responsible for the actual recording, responsible for the actual budget, responsible for the actual master, responsible for mixing, mastering, responsible for the equalization, responsible for the turn-in. When the song gets turned in, the producer turns in. A beat maker get paid. You made the beat, sit down. Now somebody else gonna come in and produce this record. Me, I was a beat maker.
I did not know that.
I was a beat maker because I ain't been in the studio. I was making the beats. Now I'm producing Big Daddy Kane. Now I can call myself a producer. And the reason why it went from super producer is because I actually am an artist and I come up with the hooks. I come up with the arrangement. I set the tone of the vibration. So the artists that I work with, I make their job so easy.
They just gotta
because
lay
all
their
they gotta
verse.
do is just lay their verse.
Yeah, lay their verse.
Every record I produced on Jadakiss, I wrote all the hooks.
What's one of his biggest ones? Because I'm a big Jadakiss fan.
And they wanted me to come on. So let me tell you, I meet Faith Evans. Faith Evans, you know, at Fat Burger. You know what I'm saying? There's a story behind that.
We need our own
she
show.
Turns around.
I need to talk to him for a whole show.
Yeah,
She turns around. She turns and says, "Where's your studio at?" She comes to the studio. I find out that she's working on the Biggie movie. So I turned around and told her straight up. I said, listen, did you write it yet? She said, no. She put the beat on. I closed my eyes. I tried so hard to understand why you had to go away. I miss you. She said, oh my God.
I love that song.
That's it. That's the hook.
Yeah, Let It Big.
Boom. She gave me my props. Movie came out.
That's the part she sung too, right?
Yeah, she wrote my, yes.
Yeah, I love that song, bro.
She sang what I wrote.
Mm-hmm.
And mind you, I've never wrote for anybody.
Damn.
It was just vibes.
Faith Evans was the first female artist I ever wrote for.
Yeah.
That sang something out of my spirit that came and boom. So then, but I ghost wrote some shit I can't talk about. But yeah, at the end of the day, for rappers, not for singer. Faith Evans was the first person I actually,
That's dope.
you know what I'm saying? So she's legend. So for me, as a producer, you make the beats, you put a concept, you vibe, you gather all the elements, and then you figure the artist that you're gonna put on that's gonna complement it.
Now, is that what DJ Khaled does? Because I hear a lot of things about DJ Khaled, like he's really not like the talent. He's just the guy that pays for everything.
Well, at the end of the day, so because I was mad at DJ Khaled.
Okay.
I hear a lot of stuff.
Mad.
I was mad at the brother. The reason why I was mad at the brother is because I would see like sessions, but I would see him in the session. I know he ain't making the beats, but I'm like, where is the producer that made the beat?
Right.
Like Cool and Dre, I know they probably done some stuff and they're in the studio. But my thing is anybody who's making that beat, like give them that experience to actually see what it's like to actually be in the seat of a producer.
Like to graduate
There
from
are
beat
beat
to
makers.
producer.
There are beat makers. I told my partner Jasmine, I said, listen, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I said, listen, I need you at studio sessions. And the reason why is because I need you to see how I roll, how I navigate. So when I'm not there, you can hold it down.
Not everybody gives that up in the industry. They don't give you those connects. They don't give you that network.
Yeah.
For sure.
But Khaled is just like
yo,
straight up taking credit for it.
So,
It's
listen,
like
I had to hit him up for Lil Wayne. I made a track for Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne was in jail, coming out.
Mm-hmm.
I made a record called I'm Home. I sent it to him. He was like, that ain't it. So I looked at that's why I was mad at him.
Khaled said that?
Yeah, Khaled said he said, nah, that ain't it. So I was mad at him. Because I was like, yo, wait a minute, hold on.
Had the left hand cocked.
Like, nah, son, I would never know. So I'm not a bully. I ain't that. You know what I'm saying? I come in peace, so leave you in peace. You know what I'm saying? So for me, when Khaled turned around and said, nah, that ain't it, I was mad at him because I only sent over a snippet. I ain't send a full record over. Normally when I make a placement, I send over a whole record, let them feel what the concept is, you know? But he didn't really give me an opportunity to actually have dialogue with him to see what else could add to it. If he had some ideas, he just shut it down. So it never happened. So then, you know, I'm hearing about this, you know, We the Best and he coming out. So I'm like, well, what is he doing? So what I've learned about him, what I've learned and what I respect about him. See, I had to learn to respect. And I mean by learn to respect is because I had to dive in more into what he's doing so I can respect him.
Right.
And why I respect him is because of what I've learned. So what I've learned is that he pays for the beats, get the beats going, and he's actually creating concepts in the studio with these artists. So he's like, okay, this is the feel of the track. This is where we're going after. And then he's actually coaching them on what to do. So technically, he's producing.
That's what I'm saying.
Uh-huh.
Where people get mad about DJ Khaled is because he's not making the beats.
He's not rapping either.
So he's not making the beats. But the dude has an ear. Anybody that turn around and try to shit on Khaled and say he don't got an ear, yo, listen, they might see the left hand.
Nah, he got an ear.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He has an ear. I didn't respect him and was mad at him because he shut off an opportunity that I felt was there. And I only move in spirit. Like I'm never going to jump on something that I ain't feeling or my spirit is not, drawn to it. I don't roll by accident. I don't roll on like I roll on cause, not because. I roll on purpose, and I'm at peace
On
with
cause,
the way.
not because.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
And for me, when I roll like that, I'm never off alignment. I'm never off. I'm in full alignment, and I teach that. And like what you said, a lot of people don't give other people the game.
Hell
When I'm
nah.
doing my transactions, she don't have my credits, but she has my credits.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? I
Right.
told her, I said, you walk into a room, you're not regular. You're connected to someone that got over 41 years in the game, sold over 14 million albums.
Yeah.
You're connected to someone who has a legacy in the game. So you're going to be looked at with the same respect because you're a counterpart to me.
Yeah.
So
Right.
you cannot roll with no confidence. You can't roll with not sure. Like you got to roll like you in this shit. You got this shit, and boom, because
that
that's
industry
the first
shit.
thing that is. You're as strong as your weakest link. And I ain't got no weak links because she's strong as fuck. I put her in the room, put her on some. She come with that melody. She come with that vibe. She gonna kill it. And the good thing is that I don't have an ego. So I look at her like you know. She's first thing she was like, so how much am I gonna get paid? I said we're splitting it. The first thing she said is why. And I said, well, because she said I don't have no experience. I said that's not true. I said you came into this world great. To be greater. That's it.
And this
At
your
the
partner,
end of the day.
Jasmine, right?
Yeah.
Shout out to Jasmine.
Yeah,
I'm
we'll
saying?
get her
She's
on
over there
next
on
time.
the
We're gonna have
couch.
another
So my
segment
thing is,
Yeah.
show with just Rock Jasmine.
I tell people, please do not get spoiled with me. Because how I work with you is not how the industry works.
Right.
Absolutely not.
You understand what I'm saying? Like I've literally been told I'm doing it wrong because I'm not
Yep.
ripping people off.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like I literally, by powers that be literally sat me down and said, DaRock, I don't understand. Why aren't you eating on the other side? I said, because I don't have to. I said, you have to understand, I'm from the other side.
Yeah, you
You know
definitely
what I'm
doing
saying?
it differently.
As a music supervisor, there's music supervisors. The reason why I became one, one of my grandmaster told me, he said that he ripped the G.I. Joe head off as a toy and became a G.I. Joe. You know what I'm saying? So I turned around and said, yo, my music supervisor, you turning my shit down, I'm going to become a music supervisor.
Right.
And I'm going to put my own self on. And you know what I did? In 1993, I got on a plane to come to L.A. to find me. That's what I did. I got on a plane, and everybody that I work with, I'm bigger than all of them. Straight up. There's not one person, celebrity that I work with that I'm not bigger. I had to see myself bigger for them to want to work with me.
Right. Right.
So it ain't about
That's
who you
deep.
working with, it's about who they working with.
Yeah.
And see, and that's not ego. That's like, okay, what am I bringing to the table that you want? You are Jadakiss. You can work with anybody. Obviously, there's something that I have that you need or want to be a part of. So I have the right to think of myself on a higher vibration.
Everybody
because
do.
the people that are on a high vibration or celebrity status are coming to me for assistance.
Now I want to ask one more question.
Go ahead.
Because we getting to that point right now.
And then-
Unless you got something for him.
No, go ahead.
Okay.
I'm gonna save it.
Now, Dame Dash. This is one of my favorite people in the world, man. I don't know. I just like Dame. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, were you ever around Jay, or did you ever work with Jay or Dame at any point?
Let me tell you. So let me give you a little history. So I worked.
A little history.
I worked with Jay-Z in 1995, 96, 97, and then so I had a record called "In My Life."
Mm-hmm.
"In My Life" was a foreigner record, and I made it. My boy Big Chuck called up Jay-Z. Let him hear the beat over the phone. Jay-Z was like, yo, send the reels. So I went to Paramount Studio, boom, 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 put it up, put it together, sent it over. September 28th is the deadline for the Hard Knock Life, the album for to come out, right? Candace Avery, she's a lady that handles one of special products she clears samples. She told me she's going out of town for 2 weeks and couldn't clear the sample. So Jay-Z, he turned around, he had a male on the record. It was a female rapper that was signed to rock.
I remember Emil.
Emil. She was on the record with him. So I heard this shit over the phone. I was like, yo, this shit is crazy. So when they told me that the album is coming out September 28th, deadline, like if we don't get it in, like immediately, it ain't gonna happen. 2 weeks was too long. Jay-Z called up Big Chuck. He said, yo, get DaRock on the phone. So I was like, what's up? He said, yo, I got bad news. You didn't make the album, but I want to hold on to that record.
In my lifetime.
Yeah. So I was like, it's in my life. He said, I'm going to hold on to it. I said, for who? He said, I don't know. He said, just don't give it to nobody. He said, matter of fact, let me send you some bread. So he sent me some bread for the record. He held the record for Memphis Bleak 3 years later.
Mm-hmm.
Memphis Bleak came out, track 14, Understanding album. And then the movie Backstage.
I know that album, and I know that movie
Watch
too.
the movie Backstage.
Yeah, I know it.
You'll see my name on the rail. The rail's going by. That says Duane DaRock Ramos on that rail. And
Duane DaRock.
And in the credits, they gave me credit in the movie Backstage.
I love that movie.
And Memphis Bleak's in there talk about how his man got. That's what In My Life's about.
That's
You know what I'm
deep.
saying? So
I love
Jay-Z, you know, it's pretty much like I opened up for him in 94 in Boston. My boy brought him to my hometown, my boy Michael. He brought him Michael B. He brought him to Mike B. He brought him to my hometown. I opened
so
up for
Boston
Jay-Z.
is your hometown.
New Bedford is my hometown.
Okay.
So
Massachusetts.
Yeah, New Bedford. So he brought him to
Okay.
New Bedford. So I turn around. This is how God works. At that event, I told Jay-Z, I said, listen, you're going to be responsible for Def Jam France. You're going to be responsible for Def Jam Europe,
Well,
Germany.
he wasn't signed to Def Jam at that point.
Listen, just listen. I'm giving you a jewel right now,
Okay.
okay? I said, you are going to be responsible. God spoke to me. I'm very intuitive. I told him this on God. I said, you are going to be responsible for Def Jam Europe, France, boom, boom, boom. He said, why? I says, I feel that you're going to connect with overseas. You're going to do something with overseas. It's going to work, and it's going to open up a whole nother demographic for you, and you're going to be big. You're going to be big. And Def Jam is going to be like on your coattail. He was signed to Priority at that time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I told him Def Jam. So here it is. Well, Mark the 45 King came with the Hard Knock Life. Hard Knock Life came from Europe. Okay? Annie.
Yep.
Right? So they paid $300
Damn.
to run a sample clearance
That's crazy.
to find out that it was public domain. Don't have to pay for it. Jay-Z sees me at the Four Seasons Hotel. I'm sitting down. Walks by me and was like, yo. I said, what's up? He said, yo, psychic producer. Dapped me up. He said, yo, you the psychic producer. I said, listen, you know what's so crazy? I said, Def Jam France, Def Jam Europe. You're on fucking Def Jam, bro. He said, no shit. That's why you the psychic producer.
That's crazy, bro.
He said, how did you see that? How? I said, it just came to me. And you know, he looked at me crazy. When I say crazy, when I told him that he's going to be responsible for Def Jam territorial in different territories in different countries, he looked at me like, how? Then to turn around and get signed to Def Jam.
The president.
Hard Knock Life comes out on Def Jam. I don't make the album because I didn't get the sample cleared. The album sells 10 million copies.
Diamond.
Okay.
I love that album, by the way.
So for me, I was like, God, why did you have me create something to be on an album for 10 million that's going to sell 10 million albums and not be on it? So God said, you may not be physically on that record, on that album, but you're spiritually on that album. He said, let me tell you why. This is a conversation. Rockefeller was building. It was just Rockefeller. It became DaRock. My name is
Duane DaRock.
my whole industry rap name came in the game was DaRock. So at the end of the day, it's a vibration that is spiritual. That is the rock. I am the rock. You
The
understand what
rock's
I'm
in
saying?
the building.
So for me, regardless if he's saying pertaining to me, the rock, he is branding a brand, a name of a vibration that was created from me before he turned Rockefeller into the rock. The rock.
That is fucking deep. Man. Hey man,
Understand?
yeah,
So
yeah.
Far out.
So for me,
Yeah, that's far
the
out.
level of respect that I have in this industry, because when I sit down to people, they really see who I really am, and because I don't walk around and tell people I'm this guy.
Right.
I just walk around and tell people that I was that guy, and I say that this guy, that guy is the guy that comes into your life and just gives. That guy just takes the shirt off his back and just gives you. That's that guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Selfless. Had to learn to be selfish. Had to learn to be.
Mm-hmm.
Never learned how to be selfish. Had to learn how to be selfish because I had to protect what's mine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, shout out to Jay-Z, shout out to everybody out there. At the end of the day, you got to know your influence. You got to know your power. And you got to stand ground. And Jay-Z, they don't owe me nothing. You know what I'm saying? But I do know this. I looked him right in his eye, and I made it very clear to him that you are going to be responsible for Def Jam Germany. Why? And Def Jam UK, Def Jam London. I told him all this shit. 2 weeks later, Mark the 45 King, God rest his soul, came with Hard Knock Life that came from London.
Hard Knock Life for us. Hey, yeah, let's leave it right there,
Dangerous
man.
Minds podcast.
Leave it right there.
Duane DaRock.
Ain't nothing else to say after
The Rock's in the building.
The Rock.
Yo,
It's your boy.
Yeah.
Hey,
when I used to call Def Jam and say, hey, I want to get my check, this is The Rock, they were like, who from The Rock? I was like, no, this is The Rock.
oh, this is actually The Rock.
From The Rock.
Not what The Rock is cooking.
Yeah.
The
From The
Rock.
Rock.
I'll just mess with you. Hey,
And then
Monty.
the crazy thing is, I had to correct this too. On the Wikipedia.
Oh,
On the Wikipedia. Check this shit out. So on the Wikipedia, it said produced by Duane DaRock and Just Blaze. I never met Just Blaze. He had his name on my credit
Attached. Damn.
on the Wikipedia. So I was like, yo, this is like he got to come off. The crazy thing happened is I go look at my credits. It says Duane DaRock
Damn.
Ramos.
What?
So I was like, yo, where's the K?
Yeah. Right.
You know, I went up to Jay-Z at the Four Seasons Hotel, and I was like, yo, how come y'all don't have a K at the end of my name? He said, I can't see the K. Why he can't see the K? Because he's branding the ROC.
Yeah.
So in his mind,
Your crip.
That's like some gang making shit.
in
You
his
ain't putting
mind,
the CK together. Your
in
crip.
his mind, it's not. It's like if any opportunity
Yeah.
to run with The Rock,
He going.
they gonna brand it for, and that's business. That's great business ethic on their behalf.
Yeah.
I was mad because I'm like, yo, is people still gonna know it's me? But how they gonna know it's me?
But you ran with it though.
Because I would change it. I would go on to Wikipedia. I don't even know if you probably go on to Wikipedia right now and see in my life Memphis Bleak and see what it says. Like I would literally go to that Wikipedia and then add the K, and then 2 weeks later go look at that shit and the K's off.
With DaRock, man, I just want to say thank you because so my best friend is his childhood friend,
Okay.
and so like that's how we got connected or whatever. And so
Dope.
yeah, came out and like sure enough, I looked up and like this man was in my living room, like, and he was like, "Play me something," and we've been rocking ever since. You know what I mean?
That's dope.
yeah,
man.
Yeah,
yeah,
because she
but-
called me
dope.
up. She said, I got a friend out there. You know, you should connect with him. His name's Monty. So I go to, I'm sitting there. You know, I said, play me something, man. And I was just like,
Yo, and you know what he told me? He was like, "Yo, your low end needs some work." And then he was just like, "You doing anything tonight?" And then it's like, sure enough, I showed up next door, 8 p.m. And it was like 2018, like right before like COVID and stuff. And so, yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
And see, what I had to do is I was telling Malik, because that's my partner. It's my best friend. It's my partner. So I was telling Malik, I said, yo, listen, I got this kid. Call him a kid because I'm old enough to be his dad.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So when I...
But he gets offended when I call him OG, though.
So, yeah.
Young OG.
So for me...
What about Unc?
So for me, like, I was like, yo, I got this. I said, man, I said, he's a good... I told him, I said, he's a good kid. I said, this dude, I said, we just might just have to just sit down with him, show him the ropes, but I trust him. It was a natural thing for me to trust him right away. Because Malik is like, yo, who's this? Who's that? We always wanted, we kept, the same thing. With him, I'm like, yo, who's this? Who's that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, here's Alfredo. Okay, well, who the hell's Alfredo? You know what I'm saying? Like, who's this guy? And then I meet him, and I see why
Right.
he fucks with him.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Malik been rocking out since 2007, 2000, like, no, not 2009, 2010, somewhere around there.
Yeah, something like that. We got the dates.
We ain't never had a fight. We ain't never had an argument. We ain't never had a debate.
You ain't never had a friend like me.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Some
I'm
Pac
talking
stuff.
about we ain't never, they never had to elevate a tone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because the level of respect is there. This is like, this is my best, like I need something, yo, he there.
Yeah. Nah,
And there's not
that's
too
been
many
my,
people.
That's been my
Yo,
experience
I'm
so
gonna keep
far.
it
with him.
100. That's why, man, I'll have a whole team of warriors around this motherfucker. I ask God to protect him every day. That's my brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
You know what I'm
what's
saying?
up,
Because when at the end of the day, you got to think about Marcus Set Go.
yeah.
Who's gonna be Marcus Set Go when it's time for that shit?
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? On every level,
Yeah.
Tires run flat.
every
Yeah.
level.
Hey, yeah, close us out, man. Close us out.
We ain't got no far out news. I'm gonna close us out
I
with,
mean,
you know, you.
I got far news, but
Yeah, we pushing it.
Yo, I feel like everything DaRock has hit us with has been far out. So it's like,
That's what I'm saying, bro. I ain't
It's
got
been very
I ain't even got
spiritual.
nothing to add to it.
Yo,
So I wanna close
a
it out
homeless man,
with-
$5 to 5,000.
Bro, that's
far out.
That's deep, bro.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
ahead. Go ahead.
I just want to close it out with Surah Falak. It's like a prayer, like a surah from the Quran. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. That's seek refuge from the accursed one, the shaitan, the devil.
Seek
Qul a'udhu-
refuge from the cursed one.
From the accursed one, because you know it's always a battle, right, between yourself and then with the evil that exists.
Yeah.
So Qul a'udhu birabbil falak. Like I seek refuge, you know, from the Lord of the Dawn. Min sharri ma khalaq, from the evil of the darkness that he from the evil that he created. Min sharri ma khalaq wa min sharri ghasiqin idha waqab, from the evil of the darkness when it settles. So when, you know, at the nighttime when the darkness settles, that's when, as George would say from work, the freaks come out at night. The freaks come out
Gotta
at
be
night.
careful. Gotta be
Yeah.
careful.
Gotta be careful.
Yeah, man. Well,
So-
shit. There you go right there. I like how you spit that, though.
Yeah,
That's
there's
like-
some more to it, but I'll close it right there.
Yeah. Well, shout out to Duane DaRock.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to his partner Jasmine. Shout out to everybody
We gotta
that
get Jasmine
tuned
on there.
in, that
We gotta
checked,
get-
everybody
yeah.
that checked in,
They
and
gotta feel what I feel.
yeah, everybody who listened. You say like, share, subscribe.
Like, share, subscribe.
You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna have to come back and do this again, man. It was a pleasure rocking
Thank
with
you
you, brother.
for watching. Like, share, subscribe. You already know what it is. Dangerous Minds Podcast. Catch you on the next one. Be safe, y'all.
Dangerous.
Yes, sir.